If I bring in of Yom Simchas Torah Tovshin Chavov, the Rebbe spoke about a certain baseball player who made a Kiddush Hashem. His name was Sandy Koufax, and he played in the World Series that year, and he was a pitcher in the World Series, which obviously is something, it's a very choshev position or something. But because one of the games was supposed to be on Yom Kippur, he said that he's not playing Yom Kippur, and he didn't play on Yom Kippur. That made a Kiddush Hashem. And the Rebbe spoke about it by the Fabrengen. And the hemshech, the way the Rebbe came to speak about it was that first the Rebbe told the story of the Tzemach Tzedek that the Frierdiker Rebbe told, that when he was a child of about 8 years old, he wanted to hear a Maimer from the Alter Rebbe, which he couldn't get in, so he went into the oven that was by the room of the Alter Rebbe, and then the goy heated up the oven, and he fainted there, and they found him there. So the Rebbe said this in Mesiras Nefesh, that he went for Torah. And from that we have to learn that all children should be like that. You have to teach them, mechanech them, that they should go on Mesiras Nefesh for learning Torah. And the Rebbe said the first condition how you could pale by a child that he should go on Mesiras Nefesh, if you are a living example, that you learn Torah, and even though had you at that same time that you're learning Torah done more business, you would have made more money, and now you're giving up that money, and you still do it. And you're giving up the fact that if you make more money, you would be famous as a big businessman, and you go on Mesiras Nefesh and give it up. And that will be an example for the children what to do. And the Rebbe went on to go into more details, that this person, if you give up a half hour from watching television, and a half hour from reading the paper, and from speaking politics, which the Rebbe said, by the way, you can't accomplish anything anyway if you're speaking. It's only a bittel's man, it's only a waste of time. He might think that he has an opinion of what Johnson should do in Vietnam. And if Johnson would ask him what to do, he would tell him what to do. He even has an opinion how to lower taxes, not just 2%, $2 billion, but $8 billion. And if he lowers it, he'll make money too, he'll gain out of it too. So he has an opinion in this. The truth is, B'mchila, the Rebbe said, he doesn't know what's going on in Vietnam, and he can't run the policies of the White House. And the Rebbe used many English words when he said this. The White House does what it wants and makes no difference what he thinks. And if a person is mavater, gives up all this, and he doesn't care that people will say that he's old-fashioned and he's from an old age home, and this is the way to show the children that he has Mesiras Nefesh for Torah. And even though that means that he's going to show that he doesn't know what's going on in the world, he doesn't even know what the World Series is. And the Rebbe started telling the story of this pitcher who didn't play on Yom Kippur. And when in the middle of what the Rebbe was saying this, the Rebbe stopped for a second and smiled, and he said, those that don't know what the World Series is, Tovei aleim brocha, let the brocha come upon them. Halavai v'otichech nish gewusst, halavai I wouldn't know myself. And this is what the Rebbe said, that there was a younger man, and this young man happened to be Rebbe Moshe Feller, the Rebbe didn't mention his name. There was a younger man, has a beard, that went to this pitcher that didn't want to pitch in the World Series on Yom Kippur, and when he spoke to him, he said to him, he was excited, and he said, I didn't play Rosh Hashanah either. So the younger man said to him, you know what, I have a present for you. And he gave him a pair of tefillin. So he said, yes, I remember, I know what tefillin is. But he nevertheless didn't want to put on the tefillin. And actually the Rebbe said that day he lost the game. Then he came to him a second time, and he spoke to him again. And the end was that he did win the World Series. And he didn't put on the tefillin then, but he left the tefillin on the table. So the tefillin is laying on his table. And sof kol sof, the Rebbe said, Val yidach memen and nidach, he will be zeicha to put on tefillin, and another yid will be in the category of putting on tefillin. And the Rebbe said, this younger man didn't ask me whether he should do it or not. He did it on his own. And actually the pitcher, the Rebbe obviously didn't mention his name, asked him not to tell the manager about this visit. But Lepeil, this made a big impression on this person. And the Rebbe spoke about it in a positive way, in a positive of what this younger man did by trying to give him the pair of tefillin. And from the Rebbe it also seemed that he was very happy about what he did, that he made this Kiddush Hashem. The Rebbe didn't say it, but from the tone of the words you could see, you could have heard then, that the Rebbe was happy that he made this Kiddush Hashem. And then the Rebbe went back to discuss what he said before, that you have to give up on all these things, and you have to have Mesiras Nefesh. So the person has to know that there's no reason for him to speak and get involved in the policy of the United States. It makes no difference. You should know that the world won't be destroyed. The Welt wird nicht chorev, and if you do not mix yourself into politics. So if the child sees that this is how you behave, he'll also do the same thing. He will also go on Mesiras Nefesh for Torah. And then the Rebbe continued with another point of Mesiras Nefesh that people should do. He said, when the child brings friends home to do homework, and the Rebbe used the word homework, and even if they do the homework of Limudei Kodesh, but when the friend comes to the house and he sees that the kitchen is not a Hollywood kitchen, and he's going to come home and tell his mother, he's going to be an embarrassment. So the mother, the wife, wants the husband should make more money. So first they borrow money and they pay a lot of interest, and then she pushes him to make more money in order to get a Hollywood kitchen. So a person, instead of that, instead of making a Hollywood kitchen, would use the money for chinuch. And if you do have an extra $1, the Rebbe said, in New York, there's a lot in Yonim of Torah mitzvahs that you could do with extra money. So the mother, the wife, should go on Mesiras Nefesh too and not care about not having the Hollywood kitchen and care more about the union of Torah. And the Rebbe said that everybody is able to do this, to be a dugma chaya to the children, that the children should know that Torah is important, that when he goes after his friend and calls his friend, so he shouldn't call him, let's go play a little bit more ball. He would call him to learn more. Let's learn another piece of Chumash, another Omid Gemara that we didn't learn in school yet, in Cheder yet, that I'll be ready more when I come tomorrow to school. I'll be able to know that already. So by the child, this is a Mesiras Nefesh, even though sometimes this is small things, but it's a Mesiras Nefesh. And how will the child get this Mesiras Nefesh? When he sees what his father does, so he's ready to learn Torah instead of doing the other things, even though he's going to learn Torah about Alta Yidden, Old Yidden, and about Yidden who were in the desert, that never read papers. But nevertheless, this is what is going to be his she'ifa. What he's going to want to do is learn more Torah. And then you will have real nachas ruchni and gashmi from the children, and you'll have a generation, that everyone will recognize that these are special children.